You eat it. Yeah. Okay, we're going to get started. We're going to go ahead and go to our general consent calendar. And let me get to that item. So I'm looking, give you just a second. I keep going back. Okay, we're ready for the general consent calendar. So if there's anybody that wants to make a motion or pull something, and maybe I have to turn this over. I'm actually wanting to pull the instructional materials thing. I just had a question on one item. So.
You want me to run it?
Yeah, you run it. I'm going to pull it.
Okay. Open the motions on the consent calendar.
I'd like to pull the instructional materials piece to ask a question.
Okay. Which number is that? Let's see. 13.4?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'd like to
Yes.
pull the minute.
Okay.
Did these get amended?
Just trying.
Okay.
Where did we go
Once-
here? I'm
do-
trying to
You're
get the
doing it.
consent.
Member Bogus, you want to wait?
I can't remember my password. Because if you have a Mac, it has to be like 17,000 characters long. I think it's 2,500 or something.
You want us to wait then, Member Bogus? For possible poll? Okay, so we have polled already number 13.2, it's the minutes. Number 13.4 is instructional materials.
I don't think there's anything else.
Well, we got contracts.
You got the
Oh.
contracts that can be moved, but that's probably what Member Bogus is.
Item 1. Item 3 is an info item.
It's by itself, though.
You know, you're right. I guess unless there was a particular contract, then we might have what's left.
It's
No, those that they pulled out by.
Okay. All right.
the remain.
Entertaining motion. So what remains is item number 1, the contracts and agreements for approval. It has not been pulled.
Okay, then
Entertaining motions were those.
I move that we approve the remaining items on the monthly consent calendar.
Okay. Is there a second? Second. Any discussion? Seeing none, please vote. This is on item 13.1 to approve.
So that's the contracts.
Correct.
I should have pulled one of them off.
Member Klein is a no.
Member Klein's a no. Thank you. Did we get Member Klein as a no? We did. Okay, that passes 12-3 with the no votes being Member Bogus, Member Klein, Member Vice Chair Earl. Okay, we have pulled items 2 and 4. Any motions on those?
Can I ask a question on 4?
Yes.
Is Terry Davis here by chance? Oh, there you are, Terry. Sorry, I was looking in the back. If there's one item when I look down through this that, let me pull this up again. One particular book that it said, this is what it said. It said, strong warning that this may cause frustrations with students and parents, but it was recommended and limited. And I'm just wondering is it possible to have a book reviewed twice? Does that make sense? But by different reviewers, there was enough of a signal. And when I looked up the book itself, it's a history book, but then people seemed to have a wide variety of concerns with it. Some loved it, some hated it for a variety of reasons. Is it possible to have it looked at one more time?
Yes, we
Okay.
can pull that item off of the report, and go ahead and
Okay,
move it to the next review starting in January.
I would just recommend it's looked at one more time is all. I don't know if one reviewer looked at this or if it was several, how that works, right? But, so it's by the People textbook. That's the one I'd ask that we pull. And we probably need to make a motion to pull that, right?
Yes.
I'd make a motion that we pull by the People textbook and have it reviewed again for spring.
Is there a second? Second, Member Hymas. Any discussion? If not, the motion is to pull the book by the People from the instructional materials review report. And otherwise, Well, I guess we'll come back to that. The motion is to pull that particular
Pull
vote
it
for further
and-
review.
Yeah.
The rest would go forward, though,
Yeah.
correct? Okay. Any discussion, Member Straight?
Wait, no, then I would move to divide.
Is to pull it to have it reviewed.
I think she's pulling one. That doesn't mean the rest is approved unless that is moved separately.
We don't have a
Well,
motion.
but that's not what you just said.
Thought it was. Tell me what you
The
heard.
book for further review.
Move forward.
Well, then I asked her, and she said, no, that would be a motion. So, I was corrected. This would be pulled, and then the question would be whether to move the rest to be approved.
Okay, then I have
So, I misspoke at the start. Okay, so the motion is to pull by the people from the approved instructional materials review report.
Chair,
Yes.
I was waiting to speak.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. I missed you. Go ahead. Let's freeze the vote.
Well, I was just
Apologies.
hoping to get a little insight as to the reasoning.
I can read what the content was that they indicated on the rubric. This is what I'm reading. I don't have any idea. Whoever reviewed it, I'm looking at the content that their comment, whoever they is. I have no idea. Maybe Terry could speak to that.
Terry Davis, Instructional Materials Specialist for the Utah State Board of Education. A team reviews that, and usually the team is of 3 or 4 people. We try to get an odd number of people for that review.
Is there one administrator, 5 teachers, a history teacher? How's the team determined?
The team is determined it's comprised of 3 professionals. Usually those are teachers in the field, and usually they have quite a bit of experience, so that we try to not have brand new teachers, but teachers that have been there quite a while.
Okay, and I'll just read the comment once again, so I did already, but it says, strong warning that this may cause frustrations with students and parents. It's recommended, but it's limited. I would ask, just because of the comments, this was what was contained in the document itself, that it be reviewed again. That's what I'm asking.
Proceed with the vote unless there are further. Okay.
Is this reviewed for possible approval or to change the recommendation?
I think it's to reconsider the approval, correct? Which
Yeah.
could
Yeah,
result
whether-
in disapproval or,
I will vote yes to
Member
pull it.
Klein's a yes? Okay.
Wait, I had another question, Jim.
Yes.
Is it too late?
Well, go ahead,
I
if
just
it's for
wonder-
your own vote. I mean,
I'm
we're,
just wondering, I'm wondering if this follows the protocol. I mean, is this just out of the blue that the board, is this in the rule or the procedures that we have that are written that say a board member can pull one of these off and with a board vote, then it's reviewed again? Is that, or is this just, we're making it up as we go along?
staff
That
have an
is a
answer?
question to Terry.
Terry?
We've never had one item pulled before, and so this is a new thing, and it's not written, it's not in writing that can be done. But you have 1,086 other items on the report that are waiting for your approval.
Okay, so I know we have an instructional materials rule, but it doesn't anticipate this or even talk about. So suddenly the board's involved in this process that has been left to this commission designated by the board, and we're changing that up. I'm just not
I
comfortable
guess
with
what
that.
we do have is this comes to the board for approval, and so
But do we have a
We have-
item veto or no?
Good question. I guess Terry's suggestion is we have 1,000 and something in there, and we don't have explicitly on this item removal, but it would be consistent with standard practice and would allow us to approve those who are not subject. I'm also a little bit winging it, but I think general protocol brings it to us, and we
Could I-
generally have the ability to pull one, so.
In order to take less time and to move this along, could I request from staff that you look again at the instructional materials rule and look at a process that would then build the board into either taking one item off or vetoing the whole thing, or some process that isn't hugely complicated, but that allows us to follow a process instead of just saying, I don't like items 13, 15, and 29. And then having something, so we can, in the future, have something to rely on as a process. Thanks.
So that might be an exploration of the rule and whether it comes to the board to change the process, protocol, whatever. Vice Chair Earl?
Yeah, I was gonna,
Oh, sorry.
we have removed things before, and we've actually asked for things to be held before. So this is not uncommon. It doesn't happen usually. So it doesn't matter. The fact we have to approve something suggests that we can also not approve something. But this seemed like a responsible way, looking at the comments, to ask that it just go back and be reviewed again. So, okay, well, we could
We can
Just-
explore.
remove it.
Okay. Member Davis? Oh.
In light of, I think I'm hearing that there are over 1,000 materials waiting to be reviewed.
Approved.
Approved,
Been
not
reviewed. They're
reviewed,
before us to
approved.
approve.
They're
Correct.
Okay, so, is it possible just to get more information about why that quote was put there? Like, I mean, it would be nice to have more information, like on this many number of pages, the whole thing is this many pages, on this many number of pages, there were concerning materials that violate some law.
That might.
Because that might be helpful for us to then know if we want a whole nother review committee or if we just want to pull it off.
So I think the intent, tell me if I'm wrong, Vice Chair Earl, might be to allow that, to pull this one for that discussion based on the description, suggesting a further dig might be helpful while we consider whether to approve the remaining 1,000 and
If we just get more information
such and
on
such.
it.
Yeah, I think
May
that's
not
the request,
require a
is to
whole
pull
nother
it
review.
for review based on the description that set off concern.
I'll make a motion, Chair.
Right? I think we have a motion, don't we?
But
different motion?
I was gonna make a substitute
Oh.
motion.
Yeah, and I want to change my vote.
Okay.
So, okay, we've
Chair
got
for
some people
substitute.
wanting to change their vote. We can cancel this vote, I think, because it wasn't finished and we still had questions, right? So, let's see. Let's do that. Vice Chair Hart?
And I'm doing this on the fly. Where'd it go? Where'd your motion go? I don't know. I move that the board approve the fall 2023 instructional materials review report minus by the people textbook for reconsideration.
There's a second? Been seconded. Any discussion? Yes, I think you're up next. And unless there was further discussion by the maker, did you speak to it? Okay. Member Bogus then.
So I don't think those words mean what you think they mean. I grammatically, I don't think they do what you intend for it to do. I think two motions with Member Earl's motion first and then the approval second would be the better way to do it.
Well, let's check with our parliamentarian, but Dr. Norman, did you have a comment?
I do. So in R277, 469, it states what the board's response, sorry. Oh, sorry. It's really good too, what I was saying, yeah. Okay, in R277-469 in -6, section 1, it states what the superintendent and the board shall do. It says the superintendent and the board, in reviewing whether to recommend instructional materials, may consider whether their instructional materials, A, are consistent with core requirements, B, are mapped and aligned to the core and state adopted as, assessments if planned. And then it goes down to C, are high-quality research-based and proven to be effective in supporting student learning. So to the question as to whether or not what the board's role is, the board either approves or doesn't approve. And if something is not approved, so you could say, and we don't approve the following, then that vendor would then be notified they weren't approved and they could resubmit in spring. So that's the process.
I need to,
All right, so we need to what?
well, I just, so the motion I want to make is that all items minus by the people, a history of the United States
Consistent with
be
that criteria.
approved
Yes. Yes.
in the instructional materials fall report.
Yeah, exactly, yes.
That simplifies it.
Yeah.
Does that cover it?
Is this the Howard Zinn book?
No, Fraser. I don't think so. F-R-A-S-E-R.
Okay.
It's U.S. history textbook, AP.
So if this passes, that would be pulled for further consideration. The rest would go through. Is that correct? That's the effect?
That's the intent and
Is it the effect? Because we're
Because we're approving.
going away from intent and into effect.
Yes.
So we're approving everything else but this in one motion. Can we please divide those out?
I think we did. Isn't that the effect of the motion, is that you divide the one from the remainder? Unless there's a further division?
We would like to divide the motion itself.
The past the 1,000.
Because you may not want to pass the.
Okay. The motion to divide is then to divide the question of pulling by the people from the approval of the remainder. Is that correct?
Yes.
Inconceivable. Okay.
No more ramen, I mean it. Anybody want a peanut?
What? Okay.
Did that get a second? Yes. Okay. So then. I'm trying to keep things moving forward. I don't care. We're waiting for the motion to divide to be typed in for vote. Yep. Member Klein?
What was that?
Do you, the motion to divide the two, is it, just needed your vote?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
I got you. Okay, let's see. How many do we have
We have 14.
missing? Oh, there we go. That passes 13-1. The no vote being Member Lear, so the motion is divided. So we have two separate items, one being the polling for further review, tell me if I get this wrong, of by the people, correct? That would pull it for further review by the,
Further review, you either pull it or you accept it or you don't accept it.
would the effect of that be that they explore the questions of the reasons for the strong warning and potentially bring back additional information? Okay, so it doesn't send it into Neverland, it explores why it was given a strong warning and could be coming back to us, is that correct? It could be considered and explained in more detail for further consideration by the board?
The publisher, it's in the publisher's court. The publisher has to resubmit.
Can we get Dr. Norman there?
That's what she's.
Yeah, no, that's great. And Nate, do you want to speak to what those words are?
Yeah, can you repeat the question?
Yeah, it's just the effect. If it's pulled, meaning we don't approve it today, does it go back for further explanation of the reason for the strong warning that was given and then potential reconsideration by the board? What does that do with the title?
Yeah, as Nathan Ock, STEM coordinator for Utah State Board of Education, as I understand the board rule, like the language used is pretty broad, and so it seems that it would be appropriate to either ask for it to do another review or whether to make recommendations as to the recommended level of the material. Because the language specifically is, in reviewing whether to recommend instructional materials, the board may consider whether the instructional materials, and then it lists 12 things, all of which could be germane to Board Member Earl's concerns.
Okay, so it may or may not. The outcome of this is it won't be approved now. It may or may not come back with or without further explanation. Okay. Any other discussion on the motion, Member Lear? Okay. Okay. Member Davis.
Do they get specifics about why they were pulled and like what strong warning actually means? And so if they want to, they can redo some of that and resubmit? Thank you.
Okay, so the motion then is, just to be clear, let's see, that the board not approve by the people a history of the United States. Correct? Did I get that right in terms of the split divided motion? Okay, please vote.
Which one are we voting on first?
We're voting to not approve the title by the people.
I would vote yes.
Member Klein's a yes. Thank you. Can-
If we don't have the book, I can teach the class.
So that gives us, let's see.
Could you turn your three opposed on, actually?
Turn mine? What?
I would like to switch my vote to no, thank you.
So, okay, we still need that to be, do I just need to read that as the, okay, you'll get the record right even though it's, oh, okay. So that passes 12-3, the no votes being Member Lear, Member Hart, and Member Reel. Okay, that brings us back to the remainder of the divided motion, which is that the board approve. Let's see. Yeah, that the board approve the remainder of the instructional materials review report, fall 2023. Any further discussion? Seeing none, please vote. Member
The
Klein?
motion says except for by the people. We don't need that on anymore, right?
Yeah, I read it without that. We got to make sure the text is that. What's remaining now is to, okay. To approve all the materials listed in the instructional materials fall report for 2023, having removed the title that we just voted to disapprove.
Board Member Klein is a no.
Member Klein's a no. Thank you. Can we unfreeze Member Earl somehow, or just record it somehow? Let's see. Who did we lose? Klein's a no. There we go. Just need Earl. Okay, that passes 11 to 3. The no votes being members Bogus, Green, and Klein. And I forget, who have we lost?
No, but mine's a yes.
But are we missing? So Vice Chair Earl's vote is missing because. Okay, so we do have 15 still. It's just that. Okay, gotcha. All right, but you were a yes? Okay, so we got that right. Okay. Let's see, to the minutes. Yes, is there a vote on the minutes? Or a motion, excuse me, on the minutes.
I move to approve the minutes.
Second? Any discussion? Okay, motion is to approve the minutes. Members, please vote.
Board Member Klein is a yes.
Klein's a yes. Okay. And one more. That's unanimous, 15 to 0. Thank you very much.